Hey everybody, it's me, Edward Jones, back with a new video, Unskilled and Dignified. Um, this hat I'm wearing, you haven't really seen me wear a hat like this before. It has a Bacardi logo on it, because I got this hat back when I used to work in a bar. Now I wasn't a bartender, I'm not that skilled with drinks. I was a bar back and a cook, which doesn't seem like a lot. Really what I was doing was making sure there was enough beer behind the counter, getting bottles up, getting bottles of liquor, whenever I was in bar back, and also looking out for customers, just keeping an eye on the customer area, make sure everyone was acting appropriately. I would also clean up afterwards. At times when I wasn't working, doing bar backing, I was working in the kitchen, so I was make. I remember I learned I first learned how to stretch dough to make a pizza. I think I was doing this in 2014. And the first time I did it, my pizzas would come out square. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they came out a perfect square. And that's not really helpful if someone's trying to eat it, but it did fit into the 12 by 12 boxes very perfectly. But eventually I learned how to stretch the dough to where it became a nice circle. I fried chicken. I would I wash dishes. I still do actually. I still wash. I work in a pizzeria a few nights out of the week. Just I make just make a little extra money. I'm in the kitchen. I'm keeping things organized. I'm sharpening knives, cleaning equipment. Making sure dishes are washed properly. Make sure everything's dough trays are scrubbed out well, and make sure the kitchen the sink is cleaned out. Make sure there's no grease getting everywhere. And I do these. I do all this with a sense of pride because it may seem like it's unskilled to somebody, but to me, I enjoy what I do, and I want to make sure that I do it well. So I try to take pride in the work that I do. Now, not everybody would think that I've heard people say getting a real job, like flipping burgers isn't a real job, or picking up trash is not a real job. It's not as prestige. It doesn't have the prestige that being a lawyer, being a doctor, being an architect, engineer, being a nurse, things like that. They don't seem to carry much prestige. But really, these jobs, first of all, your stomach doesn't care about whether you have a job or career. It wants to be fed. Your body doesn't care about whether you have a job or career. It wants to be clothed. It wants to be sheltered. You know, um, at the basic level, as long as you're taking care of yourself and also working to take care of people who depend on you, you're doing a good job. At least in my book, I don't look down on people who work, um, these jobs that don't seem to carry a lot of prestige behind it, because those jobs, because someone has to do those jobs, and if it's something that they're doing right now, whether they want to do it temporarily or they want to make it their living, and make that sacrifice to work these low, what I say quote unquote low skill. I'm gonna get into that in a second, but work these jobs to take care of themselves. They're great. That's good. I think that's a good thing. I kind of liken it to, if you have an engine, then you have your main components like your crankshaft, camshaft, you have your intake manifold, your air cleaner, your water pump, things like that. You have all the nuts and bolts, rods, screws, pins, everything the little pieces that hold everything together. And what you don't want is you don't want anything back. You don't want anything backing out. You want anything rusting. You don't want anything getting loose. You don't want anything being over tightened. You don't want anything being under lubricated. You don't want anything. Sometimes you don't want things to be over lubricated because it can affect the performance of the engine. And I'm making this comparison with society. There are certain jobs that people do that don't seem like much. They don't seem like they matter at all. But if those jobs went away, it would make things a little more difficult for people, and it could create raise tensions in a sense. You think about someone who works long hours, and let's say an architect working long hours, and let's say he didn't have um, like a tire blow, his tire blows out. Well, you got to have somebody who's willing to go out there when it's raining to, in a sense of AAA, go out there with all the equipment needed to do that job. Now, there is some skill involved in that, but I can take it somewhere else. Uh, People who work, they work a lot of hours, and, let's say in a professional setting, and they just want to get something to eat. Well, you gotta have go to a restaurant. You have a waitress. You have a hostess. You have cooks. You have busboys. You have all these people who are keeping this machine running properly. And I think I don't think it does it any justice to think that the people who do these jobs are are lesser than, or it's kind of like someone. Not say it's like a caste system, but you think that that's all they're going to do. Like, they're the dregs of society, and this is all they can aspire to do. Is to flip burgers and chop up lettuce or scrub toilets. Like, go fine if you want to think. I mean, if you want to think of them that way, okay. The thing is, but all of us at some point have had to work a job like that to get to where we are right now. Some people still work that job, and actually they're doing pretty well. At least according to people who look up to them. Who depend on them to work these jobs to provide for them. Also, to work these jobs to provide the service that that people take advantage of. I personally can't look at someone who do these jobs, even like work at McDonald's or as a cashier. I don't look at them as being, I don't turn my nose up at them. I show respect because they're working, they're making an honest living. They're taking care of themselves. Um, they're probably providing for a family some way or somehow, which is doing that is a lot better than going out and robbing people, scamming people, things like that. When you start getting people, wanting to turn away from an honest living, as demeaning as it may seem, to start, living a life of crime, then you have problems. One of the things that does happen and I see this quite often. One of the things that happen from people who work these jobs, and they're not respected. They're not, at least not showing a little bit of consideration. The times the customer acts as though, in which it is an even exchange. They're exchanging currency for service, but they make it seem like oh, I'm doing you a favor by buying this. You should be thankful. I'm a customer here. Really, that's not really doing them much of a favor. They may already think that their job doesn't really matter, doesn't mean much. When you pile onto them that that their job ain't shit, that they really, and you're basically saying they don't matter. You're basically saying what they do to sustain their own life or to maintain the life of those who depend on them doesn't matter in the long run. That they're nothing. They're nothing compared to what I do. I do some major stuff, which may be the case, but it is not appropriate to tell them that, because there's always this, there's this saying. I'm pretty sure those of you who work in food service, don't badmouth the person that makes your food, and it's true. The same thing with don't badmouth the person that works behind the cashier. People's identity gets stolen, from someone taking pictures of someone's card, without the customer knowing about it, or think about the sign in bathrooms say employees must wash their hands. Imagine, someone who's heard this not, heard this down, being down talked, throughout their career working in whatever industry, and just say, what, fuck these customers. I ain't gonna wash my hands. I'm not gonna clean off cutting boards to prevent cross contamination. I'm not gonna care about them because they don't care about me. And then you have a situation where people get sick. Someone has a weak immune system. They get gravely ill, and they may potentially die because of someone who thought that their job didn't mean anything because they weren't treated well. That they're just not going to care. They're going to do and you actually get people doing the bare minimum. When you talk like that, you get people doing the bare minimum. Performance suffers. People may get hurt. Information may get lost. It wastes time. People may pass things that should have been rejected. Not put forth good. They may not put forth the right amount of effort to do a good job, and things they start to struggle. Things start to lag behind. It starts to get inefficient. Or, it doesn't run appropriate. It doesn't run as smooth and appropriate as it should. So I think it's important for everyone who sees this video to at least think about the person who's working behind the counter at an establishment, whether it be a restaurant, drugstore, supermarket. or someone who's just like a receptionist. Think about what they're, think about what they go through on a day-to-day basis, and treat them well. Treat them well. You never know what they're going through, so it actually may make their day if they're made to feel as though they matter, as though even though it's small, even if the job they do is seem to be low skilled or doesn't seem to be all that important, it still is important in the grand scheme of things. It's important to someone who is using that job to sustain themselves. It's important to those who rely on someone to work those jobs to sustain everybody else. And this is just a video I wanted to do. I remember did a video a long time ago called "Shout Out to Blue Collar," because I was, cause I have blue collar jobs. I'm actually about to get, I'm about to work on even more blue collar job. So I just wanted to give some props to people out there who do the labor that's quote unquote unskilled, because their job, but the work you do does matter. So the work that everyone does matters. No matter how much they get paid, it all matters in the end. Well, that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please share your thoughts. What do you think? Do you have had an experience like that? Working in a particular industry, whether it be food industry, service industry, things like that. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, just look for the Give Up That Cheese button on the homepage, and you can go to PayPal, donate any amount you want. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please check out my older videos and look forward to newer videos to come. Any gripes, complaints, see me up here in my see if I need to address them. That's my video. Low skilled and dignified. I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care, and God bless.